Hello everyone and welcome back to another one of our dungeon guide videos. It's been a while, had quite a lot on, so yeah, we're back with another one, and this time we're going to be looking at Spires of Ascension on a +10. Like I say, it's a while back since I've done this, so I need to try and remember what the hell we did and what was going on, but the affixes we had here are Quaking, Raging and Tyrannical. So yeah, for those who don't know, Quaking, occasionally you get like these brown circles that spawn underneath you and get larger in size, and when they've reached their max size they explode and do damage to people around you. Um, and Raging is when the mobs get below, I think it's 30% HP, they gain 100% more damage. That's about it. A tank job is really run away. Um, so yeah, so we start off with these first few mobs. You can't really avoid anything here. You have to just fight them. These Goliaths are the main ones because they do that recharge anima, which just needs to be stopped somehow. It just puts a shield you just need to burn through. Apart from that, you've got these little castigators on the sides as well here in this next pack. They just need to be interrupted, so you can bring them all in together and just cleave. Also do that Burden of Knowledge, which is a heal which needs to be interrupted or stunned or whatever. Just anything you can to break it. And yeah, that's it really. As you see, like, they're going to get Raging at lower health, so those Dark Clash casts are going to be proper caning, but it's not fortified weak, so they are dying quite quickly. I think Raging and fortified would be a bit OP. But you never know. Blizzard might do it one day. Throw bolstering in there as well, why not? This is the last pack on this platform. You've got a Mender in here as well, which definitely is a healer. And you see it's got like a little heal it's casting off there. I don't know why I've not interrupted it. And it also needed to be purged as well. I don't know why I waited so long on that. And then these ones are dead, and then once these are dead, you've got to click on this little angel to the side of us there, you see it? And for reasons unknown to everyone, you can only click it one at a time. It's a bit of a race. I won that race. A bit of downtime now as you fly across. A bit unnecessary in a timed run, but here we are. Then we go up to probably one of the first proper tricky trash pack, because you've got one of those rebellious things, one of those Goliath things, those castigators. So I'm going to try and do here, you'll probably see me put a sigil chains down in a sec and try and suck them all in together. There's the fist that needs to be interrupted, especially when it gets Raging. Yeah. If I'm probably going to use a chains, I reckon, when they all start to enrage. Oh no, to lie, I've used it now. Probably jumped the gun on that. I could have used it just so they're all starting to enrage, but what we do have the benefit of having in this run is tree on a druid. When Raging hits on these mobs, just pop the trees out, and it's just an incredible 4 little tanks just slapping shit up, and I can just run away and not have to worry about anything. So here you go, that spawns at 23%, so this is going to spawn the first Prideful of the dungeon, which lines up perfectly for the first boss. We're not like these super MDI people, we're not going to skip it, we're just going to go for it. It's only a 10 in it, it's not the end of the world. So people who haven't seen the Pridefulls before, it just does ever growing pulsing damage. The longer it's up for, you can see it underneath, it's on 14 stacks, 15 stacks now. Apart from that, it chooses a person to shoot out 4 red beams is on me now, and they fire out in all directions. Just don't hit anyone, I don't get hit by them. This is the first boss, Kintara. 2 ways you can do it. You can either keep the boss away from the ads to avoid the cleave hitting people, or what I like to do is just drag the boss onto the flappy little prick thing, and then we just cleave them down together. As long as I'm keeping the main boss faced away from the group. It's only really a problem for melee, this tactic, and then everyone can just nuke them both together. For tanks, he does that overhead slash, which hurts hard and really hard in Tyrannical, so you need to make sure you have a cooldown for every single one. I've got my demon spikes or whatever. This phase, he just flies up in the air, and you just need to kill the little flappy bird on itself. And he'll be throwing his spear down on random people and just leave the zone on the floor you need to avoid. Apart from that, the only other mechanic that everyone needs to be aware of, as well as facing, well, not standing in front of the main boss, is not to be standing in front of the little dragon thing as well, because it shoots out these these black orbs at people, and if you get hit, they hurt as well. So they spread out the further they go. So if you're at max range, this is a good fight for range. You don't have to worry too much. It's more of a melee thing. But it's dead. We had Hero. We had Prideful. It got absolutely destroyed, even on Tyrannical. Now there's some stealth mobs here. You can go right or left. You can choose which way. I think the ideal way now is to go left, get some trash and backtrack on yourself. But back then we didn't know that, so I just got the stealth mobs out. These hurt. Don't know if it was worth doing as big a pull as this. Because they do this bleed. You can see I've got 4 stacks of it in a minute. So I should really start to have a little run away now, especially when they rage. If I don't, then I've had a right mishap. Or just, oh, use my Metamorphosis. Don't know. I feel like I could have saved that. I feel like we could have had the trees out if they was off cooldown and run away, but they're dead. Doesn't matter. Then you just got this one dude on its own. I think this is one of these ones that's annoying. It just, yeah, does that slice and then just flies over to somewhere else. So yeah, as melee hits a proper bitch because it just flies around. Unless you'll stack, I suppose. There is that. So that's that platform done. Spread out with your quaking. We fly across to the next platform. The bad thing about this dungeon is if you die or whatever, if you wipe, you've got to start all again from the first boss. So it's a lot of flying. So now we have just 1 mob and 2 of these little birds that just need to be interrupted. I know we don't have 2 birds, we've got like a little cat thing. Either or, you just need to drag them onto this dark predator thing, because that's the one that's teleporting everywhere. It won't come to you, you've got to pretty much go to it for cleave damage. And then this will leave us on about 37%. So this next pack is going to give us Prideful as well. So ideally we're going to want to kill them all at the same time. I've put an X on that target because that's going to be my interrupt target for the Rebellious Fist, and everyone's just going to be on the other one. The little predator thing's got less health than the other mobs, so we need to kind of make sure they're all getting killed at the same time, which we're doing quite a good job. There's that recharge anima ability, which is annoying. If these 2 both go down at the same time, which they will, that should spawn the Prideful. And there he is. Same rules apply. Don't get hit by the beams. Don't hit anyone with your beams. It's definitely a better way to do this dungeon, because this is a pretty shite time to get a Prideful, because you're not going to use it on much. But like I say, these videos are just basically for like beginner's guides to Prideful dealing and plus 10 keys. It's not high MDI, plus 27 in time. So we've got the buff. Here's the 3 birds and the 1 little dude that flies around. You can either all stay stacked together, but with quaking it's a bit troublesome. Or just need to interrupt these little ads and then bring them across to this guy that keeps teleporting everywhere. But it's nothing too much. I mean, you might as well just use the full Prideful buff as you're here, because as soon as this is dead, you've got 30 seconds of Prideful you ain't using flying across. And another angel comes down. I mean, there's so much downtime in this dungeon. And then there's another pack here. Not too much of a big pack here. It's got champions, a few of those little birds again. Just some AoE interrupts will do the job here. Skirmishers are hurling out their weapons at people, which are okay until it's raging, and it's not okay. But we're just blasting it through now with the damage we have. And the next pack, there's like kind of patrol and a big pack. I think the patrol was the 3 birds, which go back and forth. But I kind of went in on the whole lot. Oh, I forgot to say, we do have a spear. We've got a Kyrian here, so there's spears around the dungeon. And we definitely had one there because I just saw the spear on the floor, which basically just stuns everything in the spear and just does massive damage, and we can just get out all of our damage on it. I'm starting to take a bit of a pound in here. Use my health stone. I should probably do my sigil of change and have a little wander. No, we're alright, we smashed it. And as soon as this dies as well, we're going to get prideful, so make sure these both die at the same time. So, yeah, so that pack, those little birds were a patrol. So if you didn't have a Kyrian spear, or that was fortified, or bolstering, you probably wouldn't want to do that pull altogether. You'd want to wait for the patrol to disappear and then just get one pack at a time. But it's like the planets align. They was all in the right place, so we had a spear, so why not? This is our third prideful. And get this down, and then we're going to use the buff on the next few packs. Again, I don't know. I think there's a better way to do this to get the prideful onto the second boss, which you really want to do, because it's, I don't care what people say, it's one of the worst bosses in this goddamn expansion. So the leader here, which I'll put the X on, needs to be killed. He has an aura around him where everything around him takes less damage. So until he's dead, there's no point DPSing the other ones. Obviously AoE him, it would do a little bit of damage, but he's dead now. This little dude here should just die pretty easily. We've got 31 seconds of prideful left, which you want to use on this next pack, because this next pack is grim. Now you can either choose to CC some mobs, or we've got about 20 seconds of pride, so I think we might just go in it and just kill the squad leader, which has got the X on it. Just nuke it. Obviously you keep doing your AoE stuff, but it's not going to be doing much damage to the other mobs until these twats are dead, until that squad leader's dead. So we're just pumping in all of our damage. Prideful buff's gone. So he got like a hill on it there, so I had to purge it off straight away. Trying to keep them all together. That squad leader is now enraged. But I'm alright for the minute. I'm hard, didn't I? Oh no, I'm not. Taking a bit of a beating. The trees are out, so I'm kind of taking a little bit of a chill pill, just get that interrupted. Also, I should say, having a druid in this week is perfect as well, because I forgot to say, they can actually soothe the enrage as well. And so can hunters. So we was kind of suited here to get that all soothed quite quickly. Not the end of the world if you don't. Your tank can just kite, or you got monks that can obviously use their ring of peace, and there's all stuff you can use to slow them down. But second boss, we wanted a prideful one here, but 6% short. We could do that other group over there. Ooh, I think we might be. That's what I mean. It's been so long since we've done this. No, we looked at the percentages and we realised it wasn't enough, so it's pointless. So just straight into the boss. A hero comes off in 50 seconds, which we are we going to use? I don't know. We might need it on the third boss. This boss then, you need to make sure you're standing in the circle on the floor, because if you go outside the circle, he can leap to you and can potentially reset. But what he does, he will always dark stride to, I think it's either a random player or the furthest player. So I'm going to tank it, and then when he leaps, I will tank the boss again next to that black pile on the ground, because then he leaves the black pile from where he leaves, not where he lands. So there should be two black piles next to each other now, as you can see on the floor. And then I think it's when he reaches 0% energy, I think it is, he goes into his next phase, where the black shite will just, here he goes, he's recharging now. So you see, before that, the black orbs just shoot out in a circular motion, so they're quite easy to avoid. But the longer the fight goes on, the more black patches you have, so there's more to avoid. But when he's recharging his anima, all of the zones shoot out all orbs in all directions all at the same time. And then when there's more patches on the floor, it just gets completely crazy. So you see they're just moving around in a circular motion there, pretty much the same direction, which is quite easy. And now there's 3 zones that are going to be doing it, so it's a bit harder to avoid. And when he recharges anima, all of these zones are going to shoot out all orbs from all directions. So it really is a bit of a DPS race, as you're seeing now. The only other ability you need to worry about is the blinding flash, which will make your screen completely white and disorientate you whilst you get hit by it until it wears off. If you get hit by the orbs themselves, you do fly up and take a bit of damage. The main thing the healers need to worry about is, when he does that dark stride, it is a horrible, horrible debuff on a player which needs to be healed through. So just hit the hunter there. So he now has the debuff, but we got through it. Sorry if it wasn't that well explained. Basically, just avoid black orbs and don't get hit by his beam. You can get the angel as it flies across the room here, and I've got it. You don't need to. I just wanted to look cool for the video. If not, it's just sat at the end. You just click it as normal, and then this is a long flight to the last, or second to last, big platform of the dungeon. And again, when you land here, there's going to be a Kyrian spear on the right-hand side, which we're going to pick up and we're going to use it on our future pack. So you'll probably see our healer go over and pick it up. You've got one mob on its own, which you want to kill. These can be quite deadly with their charge, they do. You need to pull it out of that. But it's just on its own, so it's not going to be doing too much damage. And then we choose to skip this back. You do it either left or right. I'm just going to go around here and just skip them. Watch out for Quake in there. And then this is our last, pretty much, health stones, thank you. You need to interrupt this Goliath out of his aura on the floor, because if you stand in that, it does increase damage. So you need to get him out of the aura, like an interrupt would do it. A lot of AoE stuns. Oh, we've used the probably a good time to use the spear actually, because you need a lot of AoE interrupts and stuns and stuff like that. Purge, which is me purge there, and interrupt the heal, which was good, off the warden. And then apart from that, the Goliaths just need their fists interrupted. This will spawn our next prideful, providing they both die at the same time, which they have. So we're looking in good shape. You need to be on, let me work this out, you get 12% upstairs, so you need to be around about, we get 12 and a bit, so you need to be in about 87% before you, after you finish the third boss, before you go up. So that's what we're looking for. So we're just going to kill this prideful off, and then now we're just going to work out what we need to get our 87%. There's a few ways you can do it. You can pull that group directly in front next to that water, or you can go round and skip the big trash pack on the side and just pull the little small mobs, but they don't give a lot, so that's why we chose to do this one. So you've got a warden in here, which is going to be healing. You've got the Hellion dude, which does that charge. You need to pull it out of that zone. And then Justica, who's the one I think who just fires the bolts. But we've got Prideful on this, so it's not hanging around long. Again, our Prideful time is not great here. I don't know if we could have got a Prideful into this boss. I'm not too sure. I don't actually think we could. So that's as clear as the way now to pull these little dudes. We're on 87%, so that's actually all we need. Didn't need this group. I could have CC'd one, I suppose, and gone past it. And then once these die, it's just going to be onto the boss. Could have also lined the sight of them. There's a pillar behind us, which you'll see in a minute. Thinking about it, I should just head behind there and then just line the sight of them so they all just run together. Yeah, definitely okay for percent. And then we're on to the third boss, which is a tricky little bastard. Big giant robot. We have Hero, which we're not going to use straight away. I'll show you when we use it. So you want to kind of spread loosely around the boss, because he does a shot ability at a random member. So you need to move out of the group, get hit by it, get healed up. charge stomp you don't want to get hit by as well, but this ability will all want to stack together. Once he's done the ability, you need to move out of it, and it will leave those orbs behind him. Pull the boss out of those blue zones as well, because he does massive damage if he stood in front. So the idea is to all group up together, let him spawn all of that shit on the floor, and then just move out as a group. And then he's far away from the orbs, and you'll see why in a minute. Here's the blast he does, and the stomp, which is only really an issue for melee. You don't want to get hit by. Here we go, so we're all going to group in again. I've already got my leap sorted, so we've moved him out. And you see his energy bar at the bottom is slowly draining down. When he reaches 0, which he should do after this, he will suck in all of these orbs. And when he does his recharge anima, he takes increased damage. So that's why we popped hero, and we just nuke him in this phase. The orbs themselves need to be intercepted. Don't want to let him hit the boss. So I think it does damage or increases his energy up quicker and takes him out of this phase quicker. So you want to keep him in this phase for as long as possible. So you just interrupt those balls. Obviously Pally Bubble, we had a Hunter Shell as well. Or tank you can do, I suppose. And then that's it. Then the fight just rinses and repeats. And then we just work backwards again from the way we were. So he's going to be doing his Audience cast now. So everyone all group in. Then out. We had one orb astray, but that's not going to matter too much. There's the blast. Stay out with that. Get debuff, get healed up. Here's the stomp, move out of that. You see it leaves a debuff on you. It's just more people get hit by the stomp, it's just more challenging for the healer to deal with. If it's just me, I'm alright. He's still on 55% energy, he's not going to do another recharge. So we're fine. Group and out. And that's him dead. We're perfect for trash. So we're just going to click on these angels that come down. Start the really long boring flight upstairs. To the last platform where there's 3 mobs. And the last boss, the 3 mobs hit bloody hard. And when one dies, it empowers the other ones. So you could be hardcore and pull all 3 together. The only problem with that is that once one dies, after 5 seconds, it will heal the other ones to full. So you need to kill them all at the same time, but it's all so much damage. I don't know if it's worth it. Plus, we've got a lot of time. Still got 16 minutes to finish this. So we're just going to do them one at a time. And this one does a charge and shoots out black shit from it. I'll be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure what the hell goes on here. There's some black ability that shoots out from the ground and it just seems to be random. And it hurts. And let's try and have a look. So he's doing a charge there. And it shoots out black stuff from it. You can see he's got that white beam like linking him to the other mobs. That just means when he dies, he's going to heal them up and empower them with his abilities. So that's one dead. Just giving him his abilities now. So this one's going to have his own abilities plus the leap that last one was doing. This is the ability there. That black stuff kind of shoots out in like a beam in front of him, like ever growing wider. So just need to avoid it. Also, don't panic when it dies, because you'll see this mob die here. We're on 93.6% when it dies. And it hasn't gone up, but you need to wait about 5 seconds and then it will go up. There you go, 97. And this is the last one to deal with. Again, these ones hurt, especially on Fortified, especially this week when they rage, but we can save it easily. Get these down. They just seem to do like no damage, and then all of a sudden you're dead. And it's like, what the hell just happened? But there it is, enraged. Going to get it soothed, hopefully. Help me, soothe it. That's right, it's dead. We lost one member, which we're gonna... Shit. I think we're going to res quickly if we can, but the prideful does come. It's a bit of a race against time to get a res out there. I suppose we could have all jumped to the other side of the room and then just... I know you need shadow mod for that. Anyway, I'm jibbing on. So, yep, we're just going to slowly kill this. I think we're alright. I think the stacks are probably going to get to 20, but our healer's more than capable of that. So we're just going to slowly kill it as we wait for our last member to get back up from the ridiculously long flight downstairs. Whilst avoiding quaking and avoiding those red beams. So when they land, they should get the red buff, and then we're just good to pull the boss straight away. Yep, they're here now. We can kill it, get the buff, straight onto the boss. Perfect, almost like it was planned. This boss probably one of the easier ones in here, or the easiest one in here. A few abilities you need to watch out for is the charge. It will just choose a random person and charge through them. It does damage to them and hurts them a little bit. There you go, the run through. Apart from that, there's a big blue circle on the floor. When he does his next big cast ability, I can't remember the name of it, that abyssal detonation, you need to make sure you're all in the blue area, otherwise you're just going to get one shot killed. So, just look out for it. There you go. So, the blue zone's down there as well. Move into that when he does his detonation. Apart from that, he's doing that Lost Confidence cast, which is on 2 people, which the healer needs to dispel, and it leaves like a black piece of shit on the floor. But when he gets into phase 2, which he does now at 66 and 33%, like the winds blow that stuff off the floor, so it's not too bad. And in this phase, there's 4 orbs you need to pick up around the room. Bring them to the middle. Then once they're in the middle, you can click on this vault thing, and then you get a spear and you fire it at the boss. Don't want to fire it straight away because it might move that last split second, so I'll just wait for it to move and then I'll shoot. That's cleared all the black stuff off of the floor. Giving the boss a shitload of damage, and then the fight just rinses and repeats from there. So there's the blue zone on the floor. Watch out for the run through. Here to his detonation. And in. It's just, I can still hit it from here, so it's not too bad. Also a bit tricky actually, with quaking on that and hugging in the blue zone, but it's fine. Run through on me, so I'll just sidestep it, don't let it hit me, move back to the blue zone, so I'm ready to soak it up. All in. Quaking going to happen now, yeah, lovely. There's on 37%, so we're on 33%, it'll do the next phase again. So we probably won't do another detonation phase. Or will he? No, he will. So again, he's going to be doing the winds. And the orbs that need to be thrown into the middle, so you can click that thing to activate the javelin to throw at him. If you do miss, then it's constant just ticking damage, you can see on my debuffs. On 2 stacks, 3 stacks. So the longer this phase goes on without getting the balls in or you miss it, it would just, in the end, just kill your group. So I should have shot there, but I wanted to wait for it to move. Just to make sure. It's dead. Just 17% to do of just what we have been doing. And then that's it, and you have yourself a kill. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. We're doing all the dungeons, all the raids, bosses, so just keep an eye out, and yeah, we will see you in the next video. Thank you, and goodbye.